All right, so when we're talking about the long run, right, we know by definition the long run is when all factors are variable. So if we're talking about the long run, our production function goes back to an f of k and L. And because all factors are variable, looking at the long run is the way to find the most efficient way of producing any level of output. So part of the story in the long run that we have to keep in mind is that there are different production technologies for firms of different sizes. So production technologies, these are alternative methods of combining inputs to produce output. Isn't produce output redundant? But anyways. And when we're talking about the long run, and when we're talking about production technologies, and we're talking about firms getting larger, and the cost savings that firms have when they become larger, we're really talking about this economic phenomena known as economies of scale. So economies of scale is a situation where as the quantity of output goes up, the average total cost, the cost per unit, goes down. So let's do a little example of economies of scale. I did it. Sometimes my lines are so poor it can't even figure out what I'm trying to do. So the average cost of production, I don't know why I made this so stinking tight on myself. That was silly. But whatever. We'll fix it. Nope, don't rotate. That's not what we want. We just want this to go over there. Okay, the average cost of production in dollars, obviously, right? We're in the United States, we're not in Europe. And then we've got a quantity of production over here. And so let's say we have a small factory, right? A small factory that's going to produce 1,000 alarm clocks. So we have a small factory that produces 1,000 alarm clocks, and they average $12 in terms of the average cost of production. So they average $12. Then we have a medium-sized factory. Sorry, this is going to be S for our small factory. Then we have a medium-sized factory at 2,000 alarm clock. And if they're producing 2,000 alarm clocks, then instead of $12 as their average, now they're going to have an average price of $8. And then if we get all the way over here to a situation where we have a large factory producing 5,000 alarm clocks, 5,000 alarm clocks is going to bring the average cost all the way down to $4. And so we find that when we're looking at the average cost of production for different types, it's a declining at a decreasing rate situation. So we have a decrease, but the rate in which that decrease decreases, your total cost erodes over time, right? You're starting to sense a trend in this class. There's a lot of diminishing crap, right? A lot of diminishing marginal stuff. So it's not as if increasing the size doesn't decrease the cost of production, but increasing the size has less of a decrease in the cost of production as you get larger and larger and larger, which we'll talk about why in a second. But questions just about long run, just about understanding these different size firms, large, medium, and small, and their different average costs having to do explicitly with their different production technologies that they are utilizing. All right, getting close. Getting close. So now we're going to take a pause.